Have you ever wondered what happens when those who consider themselves chosen suddenly put a halt to all forms of physical intimacy? It might seem like the only impact would be on romantic relationships, but the reality goes much deeper than most people realize. There's a profound dimension often overlooked in everyday discussions. Across different spiritual traditions, ranging from ancient monasteries to modern conscious living communities, a recurring pattern emerges. Some claim that abstinence leads to enlightenment, while others argue it's the quickest way to lose that sacred connection. So which view holds the real truth? During an initial exploration of this topic, the expectation was to find the usual explanations. However, the discoveries turned out to be far more surprising. Gaining insight into these mechanisms can completely shift perspectives on both spiritual development and intimacy. 1. The neurochemical rollercoaster. When someone moves from regular physical connection to complete abstinence, the brain doesn't just note the absence, it essentially rewires itself. Think of it like updating a smartphone's operating system. It may start off a bit disorganized, but then something remarkable happens. Studies indicate that after just 7 days of abstinence, testosterone levels can rise by up to 45%. Yet what often goes unmentioned is how this hormonal surge creates a unique window for spiritual growth. Energy that would normally be directed toward physical expression begins flowing in entirely new directions. And these shifts become even more pronounced in the following stages. 2. The energy redistribution phase. Remember when older computers used to freeze because too many programs were running at once? Spiritual energy behaves in a similar way. When someone maintains an active sex life, a significant portion of their life force is channeled into that expression. By consciously redirecting it, though, ancient Taoist teachings uncovered something groundbreaking. This energy doesn't disappear, it gets distributed throughout the entire system. Individuals report sharper intuition, deeper meditation sessions, mental clarity, and in some cases, spontaneous healing. However, there's a crucial piece that's often left out. It's important to grasp this before making drastic lifestyle changes. 3. The shadow integration period. Around the 60-day mark, many experience what could be described as a shadow wall. Emotions and unresolved issues that were previously diffused through physical intimacy can suddenly surge to the surface. It's akin to cleaning out an attic. Forgotten treasures might appear, but so do dust and cobwebs. Although this can be challenging, the long-term benefits are typically transformative. A powerful technique helps navigate this phase, which will be detailed shortly. Before that, it's worth exploring what happens next. 4. The Kundalini Awakening Phenomenon. This is where skeptics sometimes raise an eyebrow, yet there are fascinating observations to consider. After about 90 days of conscious abstinence, many practitioners report spontaneous Kundalini awakenings. The key point, however, isn't just the lack of intimacy. The most critical factor is intention. Is the individual avoiding intimacy out of fear or shame, or actively channeling that energy for spiritual progress? The differences in outcome are striking. Some accounts even mention noticeable brain changes after 6 months. 5. The DNA activation phase. Recent insights in epigenetics suggest that prolonged periods of conscious abstinence can influence gene expression. It's as though the body starts operating on a different system, one more aligned with higher spiritual goals. That said, it comes with a warning. Anyone unprepared to process this influx of energy and insight might feel overwhelmed. This is why understanding the integration technique mentioned earlier is so valuable. 6. The integration technique. Called the AAA protocol, awareness, acceptance, and alignment, it involves 3 steps. Cultivate deep awareness of one's energy field, noticing any tension or resistance. Instead of resisting these sensations, practice radical acceptance. Consciously align this energy with the highest spiritual intentions. Though it sounds straightforward, many report that this method alone can trigger profound transformations in personal growth and perception. 7. The return to sacred union. The surprising twist is that the ultimate goal isn't permanent abstinence. It's about reaching a state of consciousness where intimacy becomes a sacred act, a meditative dance, so to speak. Think of it like learning an instrument. First come the basics and scales, but eventually it's possible to create beautiful, flowing music. The same principle applies here, allowing for more profound experiences when returning to intimacy with a heightened sense of awareness. The bigger revelation. The most powerful discovery isn't about what happens when you stop having sex, it's about what becomes possible when that energy is consciously transformed. Ancient masters were well versed in this secret, though it's been largely forgotten in modern times. Throughout history, those often seen as chosen weren't simply individuals who abstained. Their distinction lay in their ability to convert that life force into spiritual power. And here's the remarkable part: this skill isn't reserved for monks or mystics. Anyone who understands the underlying process can access it. Ultimately, the path isn't about denying energy, it's about transforming it. Each person holds the potential to transmute their vital force into a sort of spiritual gold. There's so much still waiting to be discovered when the deeper power of this inner resource is fully recognized. The possibilities that unfold on this path can be awe-inspiring.